Heyo guys, my name is BetaEtaDelota, and today we'll be talking about some furry things. The series where we discuss all the new, cute, and fluffy topics relating to the furry fandom. It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these character still videos, let alone another furry things. I mean, talk about a glow up since then, am I right? But now that I've finally returned from my long informational video hiatus, I wanted to ease back into things and talk about something that's been kind of growing in popularity recently. With how the world is kind of the way it is right now, a lot of people have looked to the virtual world with gaming, roleplay, and VR to interact with friends and meet new people. This goes without saying for furries, but this is more so the case with VRchat servers being used as an escape from reality both in the roleplay and immersion aspects. I know the game or social platform known as Second Life comes to mind for the older folks watching this, but the closest thing I can personally compare this to is Gary's mod. I remember back in the day hopping from server to server for game modes like Treble and Terrace Town, Hide and Seek, or even to briefly roleplay, even if it wasn't really my thing. Come to think of it, I was server hopping because I kept getting banned. The point is, social platforms and games have taken many forms over the years, but the one thing for me that brings it all together is the 3D model customizability, which is actually the main focus of this video, not so much VRchat or furry virtual reality. If you wanted to see that in action, you can go and watch Foofy's recent video on his experiences in furry VR. So with that said, today I want to briefly highlight a new way you can bring your Fursonas to life through more than just your fursuits, or in this case, how you can create a virtual fursuit. Even if you don't have one, this is a really good way to do it. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to assume that you all know what a 3D character model is. It's pretty much everywhere in visual media and video games, and sometimes in older games, the character models can be manipulated or replaced depending on how they were rigged or set up. But what if furries managed to get a hold of this? Well, 3D modeling artists, who also partake in the furry fandom, have been able to create models and rigs of people's Fursonas and port them into VRchat, FaceRig, and several other games that support them. In this case, furries have figured out how to bring a Fursona to life through replaceable 3D models in the virtual world. It's actually the exact same thing as fursuit makers being able to take a Fursona reference and with resources, skills, and time, create a fursuit from it. The only real difference between the two is the 3D model isn't tangible like a fursuit. It's really just a zip file with textures and shaders. But this is why I kind of like to call it the virtual fursuit. At the end of the day, you have a replication of your Fursona or character which you can apply to several games and social platforms that are compatible with it. And honestly, this is just really cool to me. Like for example, with my model of Maverick the Wolf Dragon, which was made by the user MikeQueen123, I'm not only able to use it in things like VRchat, FaceRig, or Beat Saber to roleplay as my own Fursona, but I can also port the model into a game like Left 4 Dead 2 and slay zombies as the same lovable wolf dragon. It doesn't really make much sense in hindsight with an M-rated game and then a really cute safe for work wagon, but hey, the fact that I can do it is cool enough as is. Originally I think Mike actually used Left 4 Dead 2 as the game platform to test the models, but once he had the textures and shading all finished, it was just up to rigging it properly for its different applications. And now I have a full 3D model of my Fursona that I can pretty much repurpose for whatever I want from gaming to roleplay. Also, another thing we haven't mentioned, artists and commissioners. Graphic artists like Mike, Ghost Cabot, Caribou, and so many others I probably don't even know about actually take commissions now for 3D character models of your Fursonas with different props and features. And similar to fursuit makers, they have a very specific style to their models, so you can look into the different makers to see which one best suits your Fursona. Maybe you want more of a cartoony look with Caribou, or maybe you want more of a carbon cutout of your Fursona from a ref sheet like Ghost Cabot, or maybe you want something 2D that you can use in FaceRig specifically. There really is a lot you can look into with this, and it all depends on how you want to best represent your Fursona and bring them to life. And speaking of FaceRig, that's another thing I haven't even talked about yet, which a lot of content creators and Twitch streamers have been using. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you how it works instead. Alright, so we're on my desktop, just ignore this in the background. But anyways, FaceRig. So this is the program I use to bring my model to life in my live streams and sometimes in my content. You can pick this up on Steam for like $15. Sometimes if there's like a sale, you can get it for $5. There's Steam Summer Sale coming up. We're just gonna start the program, just runs its normal thing. I actually loaded the 3D model into the program before I even did anything, and luckily Mike actually set up the whole FaceRig modeling for my character beforehand, so all I had to do was just drag and drop. You get all this crap that comes up, pretty straightforward, and then my model loads in like this. So this is what you're gonna start with generally. Now the model is supposed to be a bust, where it's just chest up and then that's just showing in my Twitch stream or whatever I'm using for my content. But obviously it's supposed to track my eye movements with a webcam or face cam and replicate it onto the model. So if I move around or I move my mouth, it's going to try and replicate it as best as it can. I'm literally repeating myself. I'm just making it a bit more complicated, and I don't know why I'm doing that. So the big thing, how can we apply this to our backgrounds or streams or whatever we want to use for our content? Well, if you change the background to like a green screen or something that contrasts well with your character, you can do something like this, where you transition the model into Streamlabs or OBS or whatever you have, whatever streaming software or whatever has chroma key on it, you can add this into it, and it's really cool. And that's what I'm doing right now. So this is what I would use in my Twitch streams, where I'd have the model just talking to the audience, and it would really just be me at the same time. It doesn't have the same magic as like my fursuit, for say, but like it still works, and I think this is really cool. There's a lot that you can do with this. So even if you don't have a specific FaceRig model or model of your own Fursona, you can use pretty much anything in here to get started with testing the calibrations or what you might need for specifics for a webcam, because I think even just a regular computer webcam that comes with your laptop could work as well. However, FaceRig uses a lot on your CPU. Just keep that in mind when you're streaming. Oh man, this is so cool. I know this whole thing isn't new. The FaceRig stuff and even 3D furry models have existed for a long while now. But hey, technology is improving, VR is becoming more and more affordable for the average customer, and the level of immersion in games and media is improving immensely. Even so, this is an entirely new business to dive into, especially in the furry fandom. Similar to how fursuits and makers have grown with time, hopefully, so will 3D modelers in the fandom, like Mike, Caribou, and Ghost Cabin. And for those of you who might not be able to bring your Fursonas to life through a fursuit because of money or time or pandemic, just know that the virtual world is always growing. Give it a try. It might work out a lot better than you think it will. But on that note, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments as always, and let me know what you think of the new character stills. A friend of mine who wants to remain anonymous made them for me as a commission, and my other friend Pyrorex added the life jacket to the stills, and I love them. I'm really digging the new look, and honestly, I'm really excited to use these in my future informational videos. I know that I just hit 100k and I'm still trying to figure out my commentating style and character still style, but this new art style entirely is a good change, and I'm really hoping you guys enjoy it as well. I also want to thank Mike Queen for helping me out with this video and for making me a 3D model and pretty much rigging it up for me in VR and FaceRig. So like you guys did with Nightsea from the last video, please go and show Mike some support and love on Twitter. It honestly would mean the world to me and him, and who knows, maybe one day you might commission him for a model. Also, one last personal plug, follow me on Twitch, please go and watch my streams. I'm on the road to partner, and hey, you know, you get some nice emotes. You like this emote? It looks really nice, doesn't it? Maybe I can get more of them. This is a really weird outro, I'm just gonna say that. But besides that, I've got nothing else. Have an awesome day, guys. And as always, stay life jacket. Take care.